Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is a review of the Wempe Zeitmeister Chronograph Aviator Watch XL in ceramic. The ceramic chronograph version of the Aviator is an interesting watch that I really noticed a few years ago when it came out. I like the combination of obviously the Aviator dial, the overall conservative looks, and of course the matte black ceramic case and high quality rubber strap. I thought it was an excellent mixture of sporty elements and sort of, I don't want to keep using the word conservative again and again, but it doesn't have sort of an in-your-face high-tech look. You know, a lot of modern watches that can be very interesting looking also can be a little bit fatiguing when you want to relax a little bit. And so a good example is something like an Hublot. When you're in the mood for an Hublot, I'm talking about something like a modern Big Bang, you're like, yeah, I want all those elements and designs and, you know, skeletonized dial and materials and contrast. And other times you're like, you know what, that's all very complicated. I still want something sporty, but I want it to be a little bit more restrained. And this is a rare, restrained, sporty, yet modern pilot watch, and it's produced by Wempe. Now, I'm doing sort of a series of a few Wempe reviews right now. I'm doing these in a row, but you may not be watching all these videos, so I'm sort of introduce Wempe again. Wempe is first and foremost a watch retailer chain based in Germany. They have a few stores in other parts of the world, but the majority of their stores are in Germany. And in addition to being a multi-brand store, they carry Rolex and a bunch of other brands. They have their own in-house brand, which is the Wempe watch. Wempe watches are assembled in Germany, and they're all chronometers. They're German chronometers, and the sort of well, actually, I'm not sure if they're all chronometers. Some of them are chronometers. The other two I reviewed are chronometers. This one I don't think is one of the ones that is not a chronometer, but I'm just sort of speaking. Oh, it is a chronometer. What am I talking about? Of course, they're all chronometers. It says it right there on the dial. Second guessing myself. But what I wanted to say, the reason I'm talking about so much about chronometers, is not a Swiss chronometer. This isn't a Kosk chronometer. This is a German chronometer, which is a slightly different standard. It's actually a more stringent standard. And if you see on the back here of the watch, the large date Wempe that I also just reviewed also had this engraving on the back, and this is of the observatory. This used to be well, I guess it still is a astronomical observatory, but it's where the German chronometer rating occurs. And so it's just important to say that this is not a Swiss chronometer, this is a German chronometer, and that is a slightly more stringent standard, which I talk about on aBlogtoWatch at various occasions. I think when I was reviewing a Glashütte Original. And again, this watch also says Glashütte on the dial because Glashütte is a watchmaking region, probably the most important watchmaking region in Germany. And this is one of the few brands that comes out of that territory. So this is 44 millimeters wide. It actually wears, in my opinion, a little bit more on the small side, even though it's 44 millimeters wide. As you can see, the elegant curves and sort of the all matte black finishing, they go together quite nicely. It makes for a really elegant look. My only real problem with this watch, and sometimes I want it to be a little bit more exciting in design, but actually overall I like it, is that the curved sapphire crystal, which does have AR coating, is curved to a degree where it has a little bit of glare, maybe a little bit too much glare. As you can see, I'm moving the watch, and in different lighting scenarios, you can see how there's glare. None of this glare is so bad that you can't see the dial, but it does have glare, and I think that it's important to mention that because it is one of the few little nitpicks in an otherwise really nice watch. Again, the case is black ceramic, and this is the only ceramic version of the Aviator. Wempe makes different versions of this watch. They make one that's actually a little bit larger and a little bit smaller. So there's a 42 millimeter one in a steel case, a 45 millimeter version, which is the XL in a steel case, and then they have the ceramic version, which is in a ceramic case and is 44 millimeters wide. Thickness is not too bad. The movement, it's a base ETA chronograph, and you can see here that this is the pusher for the date. There's other watches that have the same movement. I'm not really a big fan. I would prefer to be able to adjust the date in the crown. And the implication is if you want to adjust the date, then you have to have something that you can push in there. So a paper clip, a toothpick, something like that. Something wood is better, or plastic, because it won't scratch the case. Ceramic is less prone to that, but this area around here is probably black coated metal. Dial-wise, you have a look and aesthetic which is heavily taken from aviator watches produced in the Glashütte region since before World War II. A lot of the German pilot watches were, of course, produced in this region, have a similar look. Wempe is not introducing anything new here in terms of design. It's really more about sort of a fashionable assortment of elements. And again, you have a lot of little tiny decorative things. For example, the slightly recessed subdials with the polished ring around them and the polished hands. They are a sort of look-at-me shiny element in an otherwise very utilitarian mixture. And I like that Wempe, as you know, primarily a high-end jewelry watch retailer, and of course they also sell jewelry, understand that you can't make a watch, especially a luxury watch for men, that just has functionality. It has to have a little bit of a jewelry element to it as well. And this watch, in the German tradition, has just enough, but not too much. And I think they did quite a nice job. Fair level of lume, like I said, nice quality strap. Black deployant clasp there. This is just a very nicely rendered type of timepiece if you're looking for this look and you want a reassuring name behind you, as well as knowing that it is going to be an accurate watch with that standard. The Swiss Valja 7753 movement, which is inside of here, automatic chronograph. Like I said, it's standard, so it can be serviced anywhere, but it's just regulated with that much more precision and specificity, given the German DIN 8319 standards, which is the other term for the German chronometer. Price for this watch is a little bit more than the other Wempes that I will review in this round, but it's still very reasonable. Price for the Wempe Zeitmeister Chronograph, ceramic chronograph aviator, they say the name in different ways themselves, is $4,160, which I think isn't too bad for a nicely made timepiece. And you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.